This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon to all the participants. Now, the session will be handled by Sri A. Vishwamardhan Reddy, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, G. Pullareddy Engineering College, on the topic Practical Approach on Python Programming. Now, I hand over the session over to Sri A. Vishwamardhan Reddy.
Thank you, sir. You please let me know whether I'm audible to you or not.
Audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to all the participants for the FDP program on artificial intelligence. And now we are going to see the fundamentals of Python programming. Actually, Python programming was developed by the Van Rossum in 1989, and it has taken the features from the C, C++, parallel scripting, and modular 3. Okay, functional programming features from C and object-oriented programming features from C++. Scripting language features from parallel script and shell script, and modular programming features from modular 3. We are going to have the huge applications of Python programming. We can make use of this Python programming for building the desktop applications, web applications, database applications. Okay, from the basic applications to machine learning applications, artificial intelligence, and IoT. Okay, we are having a lot more applications of Python programming language. And if you see the features of the Python programming language, okay, it's going to be very easy and the two open source programming language, and it's going to be a high level programming language. The platform, it's going to be a platform independent because of Python virtual machine. I mean, we can write a program and we can take out that program for any platform, and we can run that program without any kind of any modification. And it's going to be portability and dynamically typed language. Okay, why it is dynamically typed language? While defining the variable, we need not specify the type of a variable. Okay, based on the value that was assigned to the variable. Okay, it is going to be, I mean, it is going to have the type. So it's going to be a dynamically typed language. And that's going to be a both procedure-oriented and object-oriented programming language. Okay, we can build an application by using object-oriented programming concepts as well as the procedure-oriented programming concepts. And it's going to be interpreted programming language. It's not going to be compiled. The program written by the user in Python programming language will be interpreted line by line. I mean, each and every line will be translated to low-level instruction set, and those instruction set gets executed by the processor. And once it was done, it will take out the next line from the source program, and it's going to be extensible as well as embedded programming language. I mean, we can write the program in Python. We can write an application in Python programming language. We can embed that program into any other programming languages. And similar to that, we can write the program in any other programming language. We can embed that program into a Python programming language. Okay. And it is going to have the extensive library like for doing the scientific manipulation, scientific calculations and numerical calculations, and for building the artificial intelligence or machine learning applications. It's having a large extensive library support. And identifier is nothing but placeholder. Okay, we are having the rules for giving the name for the identifier. First, it should have the either lowercase or uppercase letter, and it must start with the letter. From the second character onwards, it can have either zeros, it can have the numbers or underscore, and special symbols are not allowed. And there is no cap on the number of characters that should be there in the identifier. And we will be using these identifiers while naming the class name, while giving the name to the variable, or while giving the name to the functions. Okay, for those places we'll be using these identifiers. And we are having the 33 reserved modes in Python. Okay, and if you'd like to know the those list of keywords, we can make use of KW list. Okay, it's going to be a list which is there in the keyword module. Okay, if you'd like to know that that list, we must import that keyword module, and we can access that list by using keyword.kw list. So that we'll be getting the entire keyword list. And these are going to be the data types that are supported by the Python programming language: integer type, float, complex, boolean, string. str stands for strings, and bytes, byte array, range, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dict. Dict is nothing but a dictionary, and none is a special type. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't belong to any one of these types. Okay, now. Here, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary are going to be iterables. Okay, these are going to be sequence types. And operator is nothing but a symbol, okay, which will be having a specific meaning for doing the computation. Example, plus is going to be a symbol which will be used for doing the addition. Minus is a symbol which will be used for doing the subtraction. And here we are having the lot more operators: arithmetic operators, relational, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, identity operators, membership operators. We will go through these operators quickly. Plus is used for addition, minus for subtraction, multiplication for star, and slash for division, double slash for integer division. Okay, let us say if we'd like to have only the integer part, then we'll be using double slash. We don't have this operator in C or Java programming language. Okay, and modulus operator for doing the in order to get the remainder of the division operation, and double asterisk will be used for representing the power operation. Let us say if we would like to have x to the power of y, then we will be using x double star y. And similar to that, we are having the relational operators like for checking which is greater, which is equal, and which is lesser than, or which is less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. For that purpose, we will be using these relational operators. And we are having the logical operators like and, operators like and or not. Okay, and operator will be giving the truth value as true if both the operands are having the truth value as true. Otherwise, it will be returning the truth value as false. And our operator will be giving the truth value as true if any one of the operand is true. In other cases, if the both operands are false, then it will be returning the truth value as false. And not operator will be doing the negation of the truth value. Let us say if the operand is having the truth value as true, then not operator will be doing the negation of that truth value. Then it will be making the truth value as to false. Okay. Next one is bitwise operators. Then these bitwise operators will be used for doing the bitwise manipulation. Okay, and for doing the bitwise and pipe symbol for bitwise or this negation symbol for bitwise not, and cap symbol will be used for bitwise XOR, and less than symbol will be used for bitwise shift right, and less than bitwise shift left. Okay, these two operators will be shifting the bits either towards the left side or right side, and these will be applying. These will be applying over the bits. And assignment operators will be used. Assignment operator is equality operator. This assignment operator. And if you'd like to have the shorthand of expression like x plus y equals to z, then it will be x plus y. Sorry, x plus equals to y means x equal to x plus y. Okay, if in order to write such kind of expression, we can make use of shorthand operators. Okay, these are going to be the shorthand operators. Next, we are having a membership operators like in, not in. Okay, and in operator will be giving the truth value as true if the specified element or item is available in the sequence. Otherwise, it will be returning false. And not in is reverts to the in operator. Not in operator will be giving the truth value as true if the item is not available in the sequence. Otherwise, it will be returning the truth value as true. Next, is and is not. Okay, and is operator will be used for checking the identity. If both, let us say x and y are the two operands, and if the ID values of both operands are equal, then it will be returning true. Otherwise, it will be returning false. Actually, ID is very similar to the addresses in C. We can visualize this ID value as an address in C programming language. Whenever the object was created, okay, it will be having some reference number. Okay, instead of calling them as an addresses, we are calling them as addresses, sorry, references. That reference value will be given by the ID. Okay, ID is going to be method here. Okay, if the two operands are having the same reference value, then it will be returning the truth value as true. Both are identical. Otherwise, it will be returning false. And is not is reverse of is operator. Next, every operator will have the three fields like identity, type, and value. Okay, in Python, everything will be treated as an object. Everything will be treated as an object, and every object will have the three properties like identity, type, and value. And identity of the operand is not going to be changed. Okay, identity of an object is not going to be changed once it was created. Okay, and it is going to be fixed. Okay, and type is unchangeable. Okay, and determines, this type will determine what kind of operations we can apply over that object. Let us say if any variable is there like x, and if it was declared as if it is having the type as int, then we can decide. It will decide what kind of operations we can do over that variable x. As it was an integer, we can apply the arithmetic and logical and other operators, and we can't do any kind of calculation operations over that x. Why? Because x is an integer. So type of a object will decide what kind of operations that we can apply over that object, and the value of an object is going to be fixed for integers and can be changed for other types. Let us say value. Let us say if you are having the x variable, if its type is integer, then integers are immutable. Immutability is nothing but we can't alter the value or we can't change the value. Okay, for that case, in that case, x is going to be, the value that was assigned for the object x is going to be fixed. Okay, and let us say if you are having the list, okay, list is going to be immutable. We can do the changes to that list object. So we can change the value for the list object. Next, let us say numbers are, I said numbers are immutable. let us say we are having the x equal to 4.5 and y equal to x, and we are having the expression like y equal to y plus 3. Okay, and see, we will be having a integer, floating point object, that is 4.5, and x and y are going to be a reference variable, and these two will be pointing to the same object because of these first two statements. Why? Because y is because of y equal to x, and the value of x has to be assigned to y. Instead of assigning what it will be done, the reference of the 4.5, reference of floating point object will be assigned to y. That's why both x and y will be pointing to the same float type object. Okay, and later the third statement we have written y plus equal to 3. Then it is equivalent to y equal to y plus 3. It is going to be a 7.5. So one more object will be created with the value 7.5. With the value 7.5, and we will be having the 4.5 object which will be pointed by the x. So we will be having two float type objects. X is pointing to 4.5 and y is pointing to 7.5. That's why when you try to print the value of x and y, we are getting different values, even though these two are pointing to the same object in the earlier case. Next, we are having, we can represent the strings and either in by using single quote or double quote or triple quotes. Okay, and we can make use of any one of these three approaches for defining a string. Okay, but one condition is if your string has started with a single quote, it must end with a single quote only. Let us say like this: if your string has started with a single quote, it must end with a single quote only. Suppose if your string has started with a double quotes, it must end with a double quote. Suppose if your string started with a triple quotes, it has to be ended with a triple quotes. Okay, this rule has to be followed. Next, let's say if your program, if your program having set of lines and your statement is not willing to fit in, if your statement is not fitting into a single line, if it is scattered over the multiple lines, then we will be using line concatenation character, that is backslash. Okay, this backslash will be used for doing the line concatenation. Let us say total equal to item 1 plus item 2 plus item 3, like item 100, then your expression may not fit into a single line. In that case, you will be using this line concatenation operator for doing that. Otherwise, suppose if your statement was enclosed in a opening and closing square brackets, or opening and closing curly braces, and opening and closing curved brackets, then we need not make use of this line concatenation operator. Example is days equals to Monday to Friday, and this statement was scattered over the two lines. Okay, but we haven't used the line concatenation operator in this case. Why? Because this was contained in a opening and closing square brackets, and we are having the hash symbol for doing that commenting the statements. Okay, this hash symbol will be used for commenting a single line. Let us say if you are having multiple lines that needs to be commented, then every line must be preceded with the hash symbol. Let us say hash variable 1 equals to 100, and the variable, we can write the description of that statement, like where 1 is variable assigned with 100. That this can be kept inside the, this can be kept as a comment. Let's say if you're having, if your program is having more than one line, that has to be put in a commenting, then we will be putting multiple hash symbols for doing that concatenate, for that commenting. Otherwise, we can make use of a doc string for doing that for doing that commenting. Let us say function definition def equal to we have written what this function is doing. Okay, that kind of description was given as a docstring in the function definition. Okay, and that was kept inside the 3 triple quotes, and this will be considered as a string literal, but we can have this docstring as a multi-line commenting, but it's not going to be a recommended one. That using usage of docstring as a multi-line commenting, let us say, and we have written the class called student, and we are going to give the description what this class student is holding. Okay, what kind of information will be given by this student. Okay, let us say if you'd like to get the docstring or the help given, given by the entity, then we can make use of underscore underscore doc underscore underscore, double underscore doc double underscore. This attribute will be holding this docstring value. And we can do the conversion of a character into an integer and integer into a character by using ORD and CHR functions. And ORD function will do the conversion of a string into a number, and the CHR function will do the conversion of a number into a string. Okay. And go for conditional statements. Expression, if the the syntax for the if statement is like if condition and followed by set of statements, and in the expression in the if statement we will be using colon, and after the colon we will be writing the set of statements, and these statements must have the indentation. We don't have the usage of opening and closing curly braces for representing the block of code. Okay, that block of code is going to be represented by following the proper indentation. Okay, so generally you will be using one tab space, okay, for giving the proper indentation. And if else statement, if the condition is true, it will be evaluating the statements which are specified in the if block. And if the condition gets failed, if the condition is not giving the truth value as true, then the statements which are there in the else block gets executed. Okay, this is about the if else statement. Okay. Next one is chained conditional statement. Let us say there's a possibility, if x is less than y, I need to print a message x is lesser than, and otherwise I need to print a message y is lesser number. And I need to consider there is a possibility like x and y will be having the same value. So if you consider this example, then we need to have the nesting of if else statements. Okay, that will be done by using this one. Like if expression 1 is true, then it will be executing the statements in if block, and otherwise the control goes to the evaluating the expression 2. And if the expression 2 is true, then it will evaluate, it will execute the statements B. Otherwise, if the expression 2 is false, then it will go to the else block, so that it will be executing this statement C. Next, go for the for loop. For loop, syntax for the for loop is like for the iterating variable in sequence and followed by the semicolon, and followed by, sorry, not the semicolon, it's a colon, and followed by set of statements. And this set of statements will be written by following the proper indentation. Generally, we will be using one tab space for while writing these statements in for block. Okay. Next, under this, here in sequence place, we can make use of either the range method, or we can make use of any list or tuple or set or dictionary. Any it can be a string. Okay, any sequence type can be used. Okay, in place of this sequence. And generally, we will be using the iterative statements when some set of statements needs to be executed more than once. Then we are going to put all those statements inside the for loop. Then we will be putting the we will be using the proper condition when to get the when to get out from the for loop. Example here is 10, 20, 30, which are separated by a comma, which are enclosed in a opening and closing square bracket. This is going to be a list here, and every time the value or item from the list will be copied into yearly, that will be printed with the help of the print statement. And next time it will be, 20 will be assigned to yearly, and that 20 will be printed by the print statement. And next time 30 will be assigned to yearly, and that 30 will be printed because of the print statement. When all the elements from the list are completed, then the control comes out from this for loop. Next is while loop. Okay, and the syntax for this while loop is while test expression and body of loop, and we'll be using colon, and the body of loop will be specified. Will be consisting a set of statements with the proper indentation. See an example: n equal to 20, sum equal to 0, and here we are trying to calculate the sum of n numbers, and I was in slice 1. And we are calculating the sum equal to sum plus I. In initial stage, we are having the sum value as 0, and to that 0, 1 will be added. Sum is holding the 1, and I will be incremented by 1, so that I will be holding the 2. And this will be continued until the expression gets failed. Until the expression gives the truth value as false. At the end, we will be when the expression gets when the expression gives the truth value as false, it will come out from the control comes out from the loop, and we will be getting the sum is 30. The sum is some value, and we are having the break statement. Break statement will be used to come out from that loop, to come out from the current for loop. And this break statement can't be used outside the loop. Okay, it has to be there inside the loop only. If you use the break statement outside the loop, then you will be getting the syntactic error, like syntax error, break outside loop. That kind of message will be thrown by the interpreter. And we can make use of this break statement with the for loop and while loop. If the break statement is present in the nested loop, then it will come out from the inner loop only. Next one is, see here, we are having the for loop, and we are comparing when the value equals to I, then it will be coming out from the loop, so that we will be getting only the output S, T, and R. And the continuous statement will be used to skip the current execution, okay, from the iteration. And we can't make use of this the continuous statement outside the loop, and we can make use of this continuous statement with the for loop and as well as with the while loop. And when we use this continuous statement in the nested loop, then it will skip the inner loop only, inner loop. Next, pass statement is used when you, if you'd like to give the a null definition for the method, then we will be using the pass statement. Otherwise, if you'd like to give the null definition for the class, then we will be using the pass statement. And the most important part of using the pass statement is it will be create the contract for the classes and the functions that we will be implementing later. Okay, for time being, we will be giving the definition as pass. Yeah, actually, what is the requirement to define an empty function? Empty function will be used. Let us say, I will give you the one practical example when we will be using the empty definition. Let us say, I know what kind of functionality has to be exhibited by the some entity, but I don't know how it will be exhibited. Okay, in that case, I will be giving the empty definition for the method, and later who will be implementing that feature will be giving the taking the responsibility to give the definition to that. Let us say I would like to tell you an example. Let us say we are having a cat, and cat will be exhibiting the behavior. Generally, behavior of any entity will be modeled in terms of methods. Okay, let us say a cat will be doing. Cat will be giving or having the behavior like eating, jumping, or running, sleeping. Okay, these are going to be the behaviors exhibited by the cat entity. Let us say I know the behavior exhibited by the cat entity as eating, but I don't know how how it will be doing. Okay, I don't know what is the process followed by the cat to do eating or to eat. In that case, I will be giving the empty definition, and I will be delegating that responsibility to some other application, and whoever will be using my application will take the responsibility to fill that gap. Okay, in that case, I will be following the giving the empty definition. Finally, I can say that if we don't know the functionality, but you know the what kind of behavior it has to exhibit, but if you don't know how it has to be exhibited, then we will be making that behavior as empty as an abstract behavior. Instead of giving the functionality, we will be specifying that one with the pass statement. Next one is Python treats everything as a string object. Okay, whatever the input given by you will be treated as a string. So we need to have some mechanism to do the necessary conversion from string to integer, from string to float, from string to complex number. Okay, for that we will be using some typecasting approaches. Like let's say input method will be used for reading the input from the user, and when the input was read from the user, it will be in the form of string. So it has to be converted into a proper into my requirement. Let us say I would like to have, my intention is to add two numbers. Okay, then I need to read the two values from the user, but whatever the value that was read by my application by using input method will be of type string type only. So my inputs has to be converted into an integer. That's why I will be using int method. Okay, int of will be doing that necessary conversion so that num1 and num2 will be holding the integer values. Then I will be doing the summation by using the addition operator. Then I will be getting the sum. And similar to that, and we can have the conversion from string to float by using float of method, and whatever the input given by you will be in string format, that will be converted into a float type. And later I will be doing the addition and doing the summation. And let us say, and we can read more than one value in a single line, and only thing is we need to do the splitting of that input. Okay, so like input method will be used for doing the split. Input method will be used for getting the input from the user, and the split method will be used for doing the splitting the input. Let us consider an example here. I would like to read two numbers. Let us say I need to read how many dogs and how many cats were there. Okay, how many cats and how many dogs were there, and I will be, these two inputs will be separated by a space. Let us search. Okay, then two values will be given as an input, and we will be doing the splitting based on the split method, so that we will be getting the two string objects. Okay, and first string object will be assigned to x, and second string object will be assigned to y. Okay, and we can make use of a list comprehension for reading the multiple inputs in a single line. Let us say if I would like to read 100 ages of 100 students, I can't have the 100 variables like x1 comma x2 comma x3 comma x4 up to x100. Okay, it's going to be very hectic for me to write such a big lengthy statement. Okay, so that we can have the list comprehension. Okay, let us say first I will be calling the input method. And for that word input method, I will be calling the split method. And this is going to form a list. Okay, from that list, each and every item will be taken, and that will be assigned to Z. I mean, we are going to write the for loop here, and Z will be converted into integer because of Z. So that finally I will be getting a list of integers. Next one is printing an output over the console. For that we will be using print method. This is going to be the syntax here. And let's say, let's consider an example x equal to 100. X is, x is pointing to an integer object, that is 100, that is 10. Okay, and print of x will print the x value as 10, and print c comma s comma e, then it will be printing CSI with a space separated. But if you'd like, if you don't like to have the space in between the C, S, and E, we can have this separator field to modify the default value as space. Okay, and the print statement will be having the separator field as a space as a default one. So if you'd like to do that alteration, then we can make use of separator equal to without any space, so that we will be getting CSV without having any spaces. Let us say default value for the, the print statement will be printing the new line at the end of the statement. At the end of the print statement. Okay, print statement will be appending new line character. Okay, when after doing the printing. So if you'd like to alter that one, then we can specify the end value as whatever you want. Okay, if let us say I would like to have the @ symbol at the end, then I will be getting ECE @ Okay, actually control has to go to the new line. Instead of doing that, then control is at the end only. And when I try to print the kernel, then it will be printed after the @ symbol, because we are overwriting the default value of the print statement, that is end character value. Instead of slash, we are using @ symbol. And in the last print statement, 15, 8, 1947, and each are separated by a comma. And if you want to put a separator field, the default value for the separator is going to be a space. If you won't have the separator field, you will be getting 15 space 08 space 8 1947. Let us say if you'd like to have the date format, then I can make use of a separator field value as hyphen, so that I will be getting 15 hyphen 08 hyphen 1947. Next, escape sequence characters like / for new line, /t for horizontal tab space, or for carriage return, B for backspace, F for form feet. Okay, we are having these following escape sequence characters, and we are having the 3 approaches for doing the format output formatting. Okay, first one is string model operator, and the next one is F strings approach and string format method. Okay, we'll see one by one. String model operator approach, percentage symbol is going to be overloaded by the string class, and this is the syntax for while printing the message or formatted output over the console. Let us say we are having marks %3D CGPA %5.2 F %86 08 333, and see here %I or D will be used for printing the integer values, and 86 will be assigned to the first placeholder, so that 86 will be printed with the 3 character spaces. This 3 will represent how many character spaces has to be allocated for the value. So actually 3 character spaces are allocated for that value, but we are having the 2 character space. We require only 2 character space for printing the 86. Okay, so we will be having 1 extra space here. And in order to print the CGPA, we are giving the format specifier like 5.2 F. Okay, 5 will be representing total number of characters that needs to be allocated for printing, and 2 will be representing the number of digits after the precision, and F stands for printing the floating type value. Our next approach is by using format method. We will be using this format method for printing the output. ILO opening and closing curly braces. Within that we are having the 0 and 1 within the opening and closing curly braces dot. Okay, this is going to be a string literal right now, which is enclosed in a single quote. Okay, and to that string we are calling the format method of that string. Okay, we are calling format method of that string, and to that we are passing the two arguments, that is bread and butter. Okay, and bread is available at the 0th position and butter is available at the 1st position, so that wherever 0 is there, 0th position argument will be replaced there, and wherever 1, the 1st position argument will be assigned, will be replaced at that position, so that we'll be getting I love bread and butter. Okay, and let us say we are having this string literal like hello something, format of college equals to RU from GPREC, comma name equals to Sanjay. Okay, so here we are using the keyword argument approach for supplying the arguments for the format method. Okay, then I will let you know what is keyword arguments while discussing about the functions. Okay, and wherever the college is set, its value, the value assigned to that keyword will be replaced. Okay, wherever the name is available to that place, Sanjay will be replaced. So that we will be getting hello Sanjay, are you from GPREC? That kind of message will be displayed. Okay. Next one is F-strings approach. Then in F-strings approach, your formatted string must be preceded by the character F. Okay, this character, we can make use of either small case or uppercase character. Then actually this format, F-strings approaches are going to be faster than the modulo operator approach or the string format method approach. These two are going to be faster as compared to the previous two approaches. Okay, and we can embed the expression in the string literal itself. Let us say an example: name equals to Rishi and age is 6. So here we have written the formatted string. Our string is preceded by the character F. Okay, and wherever the variable name is there, its value will be replaced, and wherever the age is there, and its value will be replaced. So that we will be getting hello, my name is Rishi and I'm here 6 years old. So we are going to embed the expression in the string literal. Okay, we are going to embed this string expression in the string literal. Okay, so that it will be faster as compared to the modular, string modular approach as well as to the string format approach. And see the other type of strings. String is going to be a sequence of characters or sequence of letters. And every string must be enclosed in a single or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay, and strings is going to be a sequence type. String is going to be a sequence type, and every character in the string is going to be indexed or accessed by using the index values starting from 0. Okay, array indexing, string indexing always starts from 0, and positive indexes are from left to right, and negative indexes are from right to left. Okay, let us say in order to access the value of G, we can make use of either the index value as 0 or -7, and in order to access the values, in order to access the character C from this character sequence, we can make use of the character. We can make use of the index value as -2 or the 5. See an example here. My string of 0 will be returning the 0, and my string of 1 will be returning A. Why? Because array index, string indexing always starts from 0. At 0th position G will be there, at 1st position T will be there, and 2nd position T will be there. Okay, it will be continued from 0 to index to the last character of the string. And negative indexes will be used for indexing will be starts from the right to left. Okay, let us say -1 is an index for the last character of the string. Whenever I say my string of -1 will be, it is going to fetch the last character in the string sequence. And let us say if I specify an index value which is not there in the sequence, then we will be getting the index error. Next, and we can do this string slice operations, and my string of 1:3. Okay, it will be returning the character sequence from 1 to n-1. Okay, I can specify start colon end. Okay, for doing the string slicing operations, we are going to supply the two arguments for the slice operation in our example. First argument is the start and second argument is the end. Okay, it will fetch all the characters starting from the starting index and the ending index -1. So for this one, my string of 1:3 will be getting the character sequence starting from 1 to 3-1, that is 2. So we will be getting A and T. Okay, this will be, I mean, if you want to specify the starting index, it will be considered as the starting index as 0. So we will be getting my string of :3 will be returning all the characters up to 3-1, that is 2. GAT will be returned for this expression. Okay, if you want to specify the ending index value, then it will be treating the length -1. Okay, it will be fetching all the characters starting from the supplied index to all the characters up to the end. Okay, and if you want to specify the starting and ending value or ending indexes for doing this string slice operation, it will be taking the starting index as 0 and ending index as the length -1. And we are having the length method for doing the length of, I mean, for calculating the length of the string. And and plus operator will be doing this string concatenation operation, and in operator will be checking for the availability of an item in the sequence, and if it is there, it will be returning true, otherwise it will be returning false. In our example, GAT in GATTACE. Okay, it's going to be a sequence, and in that I would like to check for the GAT. Okay, GAT is available in this inputs, I mean in this sequence, that's why it will be returning true, otherwise it will be returning false. And the find method will be returning whether the, I mean, if the required argument is available in the sequence, it will be returning the position at which it is there, otherwise it will be returning error. And these are all the some of the built-in methods which are associated for the string class. Find, it will be returning at which position the supplied argument is available, and count method will be returning how many times that character was repeated in the input sequence, and lower will be doing the lowercase conversion, and upper will be doing the uppercase conversion. Replace will be replacing the supplied character, I mean the supplied argument, sorry, replace a single character with, I mean replace a character with the another character. Okay. And we can replace more than one character sequence with another more than one character sequence. Example, gatta.replace 80, 2 stars. Now 80 is going to be replaced with 2 stars. Next one is, and we can't do, I mean, strings are going to be immutable. Immutability is nothing but we can't do any kind of changes. Okay, we can't do any kind of changes. I mean, once a string was created, it is going to be fixed. Okay, if you try to do any kind of alterations, it will be returning false. And list is going to be a collection type, and list is going to be represented by opening and closing square bracket, and the list of, I mean, all the elements will be separated by a comma, like this, C, like this. And the characteristics of list are ordered, lists are ordered, and list can contain any arbitrary number of arbitrary number of objects, and every element from the list is going to be accessed by using the index value. And the list can be nested. I mean, inside the list you can have another list. And lists are mutable. I mean, we can do the changes in the list. And lists are dynamic. I mean, we can, I mean, list size can be increased or decreased, okay, based on the operations what we do over the list. I mean, we can increase the size and we can decrease the size based on our operations. Okay. And list can contain varying types, like list of elements need not be of same type. Okay, it can be a string object. It can have the string object as an element. It can have the float object as an element. It can have the class name. Okay, as an object, so as an element. Okay, it can have the model name as a element. Okay, let us say in our example, fun is going to be a method and math is going to be a model and a is going to be a list. Okay, all these can be a members inside the list. Okay, and there is no cap on number of elements that needs to be there in the list. Okay, memory is going to be the limit. And we can do the string slicing, list slicing operations. And I mean, all the elements on the list are going to be accessed based on the index values. In order to access the, print of a of 1 will be fetching the value easily like this. And these are going to be the methods that can be applied over the strings, sorry, list. Okay, append will be doing the appending of elements and clear will be doing the clearing of list. Copy for doing the copying, and count method will be doing the how many times that supplied element was repeated in the sequence. Okay, and extend will be using to combine, add all the elements of another list as an elements in the first list. Okay. Like this, we are having the built-in methods. Next one is tuple. Tuple is going to be a collection type, and which is unordered. We can access the elements from the tuple based on the index value starting from 0. And list elements are, list is going to be unchangeable. Immutable. We can't do the changes once the tuple was created. And lists are represented by using rounded brackets. List are, by using rounded brackets, they can represent the tuple like this. We can do, when you try to change the items in the tuple, then you will be getting the error message like this. Okay, because lists are unchangeable. And we can, even when you try to delete the element from the tuple, then we will be getting the error message. And list can allow the duplicates, and we can make use of len method for calculating how many objects or how many elements are there in the tuple. Okay. These are the built-in methods. And we can make use of in and not in operator for doing checking the availability of an item in the list. And we can traverse all the elements on the list by using the loops. And these are we are having a lot more built-in methods. Max and min. Max method will be returning what is the maximum value, and min method will be returning what is the minimum value. And here in our example, this tuple is, this tuple, age tuple is holding all the ages of your students. And this is about tuple. Next one is set. Set is going to be an order. There's no guarantee like all the elements will be saved whatever we supplied, and we can't access the elements of the set based on the index values. That's why we are calling this this set. We are calling this set as unordered type, and all the elements must be in a queue, and duplicates elements are not allowed. Okay, when you try to add the same element to the set, then the set is going to hold only one copy of that item or element. Okay, and list can be modified. We can do addition and deletion of elements to the set. Okay, and we are having the frozen set concept. There we can't do any kind of modification to the set. We can't add or we can't delete an element from the set for the frozen set. And the set are going to be represented by using opening and closing curly braces. But one important thing is all the elements of the set are going to be immutable. Okay, we can't make use of the mutable types as an elements for the set. We can't have the list as element in the set, and we can't have the dictionary as a element in the set. Okay, again, we can't have the set as a element in the set. We can't have the nesting of sets. Why? Because sets are mutable. Mutable types are not allowed as a elements in the sets. And we can apply the set membership operations like union, intersection, minus, set difference. We can check for the proper set or superset. Okay, subset, proper subset, that kind of operations we can perform over the sets. Let us say x and y, x1 and x2 are the two sets. We can apply the union operation by using x1 dot union of x2, where x1 and x2 are two sets. Then it will be returning what is the union of these two sets. And we can make use of pipe symbol for doing the union operation also. And and for intersection operation, we can make use of x1 intersection of x2. X1 and x2 are two sets, and when you apply the intersection of these two, actually x1 is a set which is holding all the numbers which are divisible by 2, and x2 is going to be a set which is holding all the numbers which are divisible by 3. I would like to know which are divisible by both 2 and 3. Then I can apply the intersection operation. Then I will be getting 18, 12, 6. Okay. Next one is we can make use of AND operator also for doing the intersection operation. We can make use of either the intersection method, or we can make use of AND operator. And in order to get the difference of two sets, we can apply x1 minus x2. Numbers which are divisible by 2 but not divisible by 3. Then I can I can apply the difference method, x1 dot difference of x2. I will be getting the numbers which are divisible by 2 but not by 3. And we can apply the minus operator for getting the difference, for doing the difference of two sets. And in order to get the symmetric difference, elements which are there in x1 but not in x2, at the same time elements which are there in x2 but not in x1. I need to have such kind of elements. In that case, we can apply the symmetric difference method. Otherwise, we can make use of cap operator for getting the symmetric difference. Let us say x1 dot symmetric underscore difference of x2 will be getting the symmetric difference. Otherwise, we can make use of cap operator for getting that value. Okay, and we can check for the two sets, whether the two sets are disjoint or not. Okay, if they are disjoint, we will be getting the truth value as true. Otherwise, we will be getting the truth value as false. In our case, these two are not disjoint. That's why we are getting false. And we are having the esubset method for checking whether x1 is subset to x2. Okay, otherwise we can make use of x1 is less than or equivalent to the x2. Okay, this method, this operator can be used over the two sets x1 and x2 for getting to check whether is subset or not. Let us say we are having the courses list and we are having a new list. Okay, I would like to check whether the new list is subset to course set or not. Okay, then it will be returning false. Okay, it's not going to be a subset right now. Okay. Next, CSBS and CST both are available in the course list. That's why we are getting the truth value as true for the subset method. Next, proper subset. Proper subset is nothing but a subset, and x1 and x2 are let x1 and x2 are two sets, where and we are going to call x1 is a proper subset to x2 if x1 is but not x1 is sorry, I'm getting a lot of noise.
Madam. మర్చిపోతానేమో అని నా దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు లేదు.
Yeah, thank you. X1 is said to be a proper subset to X2 if X1 is subset to X2, but X1 and X2 are not equal. Okay, then we are going to say this one as proper subset. Next one is superset. X1 is said to be a superset if all the elements of X1 is said to be a superset to X2 if X1 contains every element of X2. Then we are going to say that X1 is going to be a superset. Okay, then we can make use of esubset method for checking whether it is superset or not. Otherwise, we can make use of X1 greater than or equivalent to operator over the two sets. Okay, and we are having the proper superset. X1 is said to be a proper superset of X2 if X1 contains every element of X2, but X1 and X2 are not equivalent. Then we say that X1 is going to be a proper superset, and we can make use of greater than symbol for checking that one. And next one is the dictionaries. Dictionary is also a collection type which will be having the key value pairs. Each key and its associated value are separated by colon. Okay, and colon, I mean, it's going to be unordered. I mean, we can't make use of the indices for accessing the elements from the dictionary. This is an example. This is a syntax for the dictionary. Okay, and key value pair are going to be each and every key value pair will be separated by a colon, and among the pairs will be having the comma, and everything will be enclosed in the opening and closing curly braces. Okay, let us say address equals to college name equal to GPREC, location equal to kernel, and state equals to AP. And college name, location, and the state are going to be called as keys, and the GPREC, kernel, AP are going to be called as values. And if you see the difference between the list and dictionaries, both are mutable. I mean, we can do the changes, and both are dynamic, and we can increase the size of the list or dictionary, or we can decrease the size of the list or dictionary based on our requirement. Okay, as we are needed, we can do the adding of elements to the collection, or we can do the deletion of elements from the or items from the dictionary or the tuple as the dictionary or the list. Okay, that's why both are dynamic, and both the dictionary can be nested and the list can be nested. And when you see the differences between these list and dictionary, list elements are accessed by using the position, I mean, based on the indexes, and whereas dictionary elements are accessed by using the index based on the keys. Okay, instead of using indices, keys will be used for fetching the values. And see this one. In order to access the college name, I will be using college name key for getting the college name, so that I will be getting GPREC. If you refer a key which is not available in the dictionary, then you will be getting the error message. And adding of an elements to the dictionary is nothing but making use of the new key value, and we're making use of new key and its associated value. Okay, so that one more entry will be added to the dictionary. And to delete an entry from the dictionary, we can make use of a del statement. Okay, let us say I would like to delete the pin number. Then I can make use of del, address of pin, so that pin entry will be pin and its associated value will be deleted from the dictionary. When you print, you will be getting the college name and location of the kernel, sorry, location and the state. We are not getting the pin. And we can access the keys of the dictionary by using keys method. And go for function. Function is nothing but a self-contained block of code which will be used for doing the specific kind of task or specific kind of computation. Okay, we are having the two types of functions: built-in functions and the user-defined functions. Built-in functions are the functions that are supplied along with the Python interpreter, and user-defined functions are the functions which are defined by the user or the user. And the syntax for the user-defined functions is def. Def is the keyword, and function name is the name of the function, and parameters is followed by the colon, and we can have the doc string and followed by set of statements. And let's have a simple motivation why we need to have the functions. Let us say we are having 3 friends here, and I would like to greet them first friend is Rishi. I would like to greet him like, hi Rishi, nice to see you again, enjoy your coffee. Like this, if I'm having right now in our example we are having the 3 friends. That's why I had written 3 lines of code for 3 friends. Totally we are having 9 lines of code. Let us say if you are having 100 friends, then I need to write 100 into 3, 300 lines of code needs to be written for greeting the friends. Okay. So instead of writing such a lengthy code, we can have a function which will be taking the name of the friend, the name of the guest, and it will be printing the greeting messages. Okay, and see here, this is my function def greet function, greeting fun, and this function is taking the name of the guest as an argument. Then it will be printing guest name, and it is printing nice to see you again, and it is printing enjoy your coffee. And in order to greet a Rishi, I will be calling greeting underscore fun of Rishi, and in order to greet Puneet, I will be calling greeting underscore fun of Puneet, and in order to greet Arjun, I will be calling greeting of fun Arjun. And see here, earlier we are having the 9 lines of code, and here when you write the function, we are having only 6 lines of code. Okay, we are going to reduce the number of lines of code, and these functions will help us to code reusability. Okay, this is one of the good example, good uses with the functions. I will let you know here. And see, doc strings will be used for giving the this one. Doc strings will provide the help. What kind of functionality this function is doing, that kind of message will be conveyed by using the doc string. Let us say I have written the method called getArea, which will be taking width and length as an argument, and I had written the doc string like this method compute the area of a box, and area is calculated like area equal to W into L and return area. And this doc string will be providing a help to the users. In order to access this doc string, I will be using underscore underscore doc underscore underscore. When we print this one, we will be getting what this method is doing. Next, we are having 3 kinds of functions. 3 uses of functions. One is abstraction, the reusability, and modularity, and namespace operation. Abstraction and reusability. Abstraction means end users of the function need not know what has written inside this function. Let us say we are in banking application, we need to supply the who is the sender and who is the receiver, how much amount has to be transferred from sender to receiver. Okay, and end user need not aware and need not know what kind of statements written for doing such kind of transaction. Okay, so everything will be hidden to the end user. Okay, so they need to know how to make use of that function. That's all. Okay, and reusability will be achieved with the help of functions. Okay, we'll be writing a function only once, and it will be used whenever you want. Okay, so instead of rewriting that functionality. And modularity is nothing but we can divide our entire program into multiple sub modules, and each sub module will be carried out by one function. So we can achieve the modularity. And namespace operation. See, names variables which are defined in one function in one function are not going to be interfere with the variables which are declared in the other function. Okay, that kind of namespace operation will be provided by these functions. Next one is argument. Argument is nothing but the parameters which are passed while calling the function are called arguments. We are having the three kinds of arguments. One is conditional arguments, keyword arguments, and default arguments. I will let you know one by one. See here, here we are having the function fun of x comma y comma z, and it is printing. I'm having the formatted output by using format method. cost of whatever the values I supplied for x and y will be printed here. Let us say I'm calling this function by using 4 comma pence comma 59. So as a part of virtual arguments, the first argument will be copied into x, and second argument will be copied into y, and third argument will be copied into z. Okay, so that I will be getting the message cost of 4 pence is 59.9. And similar to that, if I supply 2 arguments to the function which is expecting 3 arguments from the user, then we will be getting the error message, like one positional argument is missed for the variable z. Okay, next one is keyword arguments. Okay, and while calling the function itself, we can make use of the formal arguments. Okay, while calling the function itself, we can make use of the formal arguments as the keywords. Okay, and see here, x, y, and z are going to be called as formal arguments, and the arguments which are supplied while calling the function will be called as the actual arguments. Okay, and while calling the function, we will be using the formal argument names as a keywords: x equal to 4 and y equal to pence and z equal to 6 to 7, irrespective of one-to-one mapping. Okay, so that we will be getting a cost of 4 pence is 6 to 7. Okay, then I'm going to follow. I have written a different way. Sorry, I'm calling this one method with a different sequence, like y equal to x, z equal to 100, and x equal to 10. Instead of supplying the number as the first argument, I'm supplying the string. Okay, even though it won't, you won't get any kind of error message because we are not following the positional arguments. We are following the keyword arguments. That's why apples will be assigned to the variable y, formal variable y, and 100 will be assigned to the z, and 10 will be assigned to x. As a result, we will be getting cost of 10 apples is 100. And so let us say x equal to 4 and y equal to double y equals to 10 and z equal to 6 to 7. See here, while calling the function by using keyword arguments, then we must ensure that while calling the function, all the variables, all the keywords which are used while calling the function should match with all the formal variables. See here, x is matched and y is as a keyword and y is the formal argument. That's why there is a mismatch in between the keyword and the formal argument. That's why we'll be getting the error message. And next one is default arguments. Okay, let us say if you won't supply the values, if you won't supply the values while calling the function, then it will be taking the default values as an argument. Let us say x is 4 and y equal to pence, z equal to 50.8. If we call this fun method without supplying any values, then it will be taking the default values like x value as 4 and y value as pence and z value as 50.8. As a result, we will be getting cost of 4 pence is 50.8. Okay, suppose if I supply 10, and this 10 will be assigned to x, and the value for the y and z will be considered as default ones. As a result, we will be getting cost of 10 pence is 50.8. Suppose if we supply 5 apples, then 5 will be assigned to x and apples will be assigned to y, and z value will be treated as the default one, that is 50.8. As a result, we will be getting cost of 5 apples is 50.8. Okay, and if we supply 10 books 100, then we will be getting cost of 10 books is 100. Okay, this is about default arguments. Okay, next one is pandas, and before going to the pandas and numpy, I will let you know with a simple program. Otherwise, yeah, we will go with. I will let you know how to write a program in Python. Let us assume a equals to. First I would like to print a message, hello message. Hello message. Yeah, good. And execute. As we are getting the hello message. Okay, and I would like to read the input from the user. X equals to input of. Okay, and it will be prompting the user to give the number, to give the value 76. Okay, even though 76 was a number, but when you try to get the type of this X, you will be getting the type as string str. Its type is string. And so in order to get the integer value, then we will be applying the int of method, int of okay, and enter the value 50. And when you see the type, it's going to be integer. Why? Because we converted that string input to an integer. Okay. Next, we will try to see. We will try to have the two variables, a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. And I would like to check which one is bigger. If a is greater than b, then a is bigger. If a is bigger, else print b is bigger. Yes, we are getting the b is bigger as b is holding the value 20. We are getting the value as 20. And we can have the for loop like n equals to 10 for I in, we can make use of range method for printing the numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, don't consider the upper bound minus 1. Print of I. Next, we can make use of for loop for printing the while loop. I'm going to initialize the n value as 0, and I will be using y I is less than 10. Print I, and I needs to be incremented. We don't have any I plus plus. We need to write I equals to I plus 1. Yes, we are getting the output. Okay. Next one is we can have the list L equals to. We can have the list of elements 2, 5, 8, something. Next, we can traverse the list of elements by using for loop. For I, L, print I. And we can append the elements to the list. L dot append. Append operation will be appending the elements at the end of the list. And when I try to print the L, I will be getting the updated list, which is having the 100. And we can have the set list dictionary tuple t equals to list of elements which are separated by a comma enclosed in a tuple. As enclosed in a rounded brackets will be considered as a tuple. And if you'd like to see what is the type of t, we will be getting the type of tuple. Okay, and we can't do any kind of alteration to the tuple. If I try to do the updation t of 1 equals to something 300, then we will be getting the error message, because we can't do the change of elements in the tuple, because tuples are immutable. Next one is set s equals to elements in the set must be of type immutable, but set can have any kind of data. And I will take one more set s1 equals to 2, 5. and we can check. We can do the union operation S1 union of S1. Then it will be doing the union of operation like this. I mean, we can apply all the operations what we discussed in the while doing the session. Okay, and we can have the, we can write the function like def fun right. This is a FDP. And when I call fun method, we will be getting this is a FDP. And your function might have the any number of return statements. When the return statement gets executed, control will come out from that function and go for the numpy. Yes, quickly I will go through the numpy as we are running out of time. We can create the numpy using list or tuples, or we can make use of the methods like arrange, linspace. Okay. Otherwise, we can create a numpy array by reading the data from the files. Okay. First, let us see how to create a numpy array by using list. Okay. And for array method, we are passing the list. Okay. We are passing the list as an argument to the array method. That's why it will be creating the numpy array. So it's going to be a single dimensional array, and if you supply multi-dimensional array, in order to create the multi-dimensional array, we will be passing array as a list of list. List of list will be passed to create the two-dimensional array. Yes. Next one is, if you see the type of both V and M, V is going to be a single dimensional array and M is going to be a multi-dimensional array. V is going to be a vector and M is going to be a multi-dimensional array. Okay. When you see the type, then we are getting the type as ND array and LD array. Okay. And if you see the shape of both vector and the multi-dimensional array, shape is having the single row and the 4 columns, and vector, and this matrix is having 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, that was given here. Okay. Next, in order to know the type of data it is holding, then we are having the D type method, which will be returning what kind of data it is holding. Okay, and changing of values. Okay, in the numpy array will be leading to a 0 if the wrong type. With the wrong type. Actually, our array is holding all the integer types. Array M is holding all the integer type values. If I try to assign a string value, then we'll be getting an error message. Okay. Instead of that, if you supply the integer value, then we don't get any error message. Okay. If you try to change the element, value of an element in the numpy array with the uncompatible type, then we'll be getting error messages. Otherwise, we don't have any issues. Okay. Next, another topic is by using the arrange method. By using arrange method also, we can create a numpy array. It's an X is going to be a vector here, and here it's going to be here also it is going to be a vector. And we can make use of linspace and log space for creating the numpy array. And we can create the numpy array by using random function also, by using rand method. And in order to create a diagonal matrix, diag of 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 are going to be a diagonal matrix. And if you'd like to specify, you'd like to have a upper diagonal or lower diagonal, we can supply that argument. K equals to 1 means upper diagonal to the main diagonal. Okay, if the value for the K is -1, we will be getting a lower diagonal matrix. And if you'd like to get the matrix with all zeros, then we can have the method zeros of 3, 3. And we can have the matrix with all ones. We can have the ones method. These are going to be the built-in methods. Okay, and we can write. We can save the data into text file, and we can load the data from the text file. This is the last approach. Okay, we can create the NumPy array in 3 ways: by using list, another one is by using built-in methods, another one is by loading the data from the files. Okay, and item size will be giving what is the size for each and every element. Okay, and n bytes will be giving us number of bytes for that entire array. Okay, and ending variable will be giving us how many dimensions were there. Okay, next, this is the name that we created earlier by using rand method, and m of 1 will be returning first row, and m of 1 comma 1 will be returning first row, element, so value at first row and first column. Okay, first row and first column, that is this one. And we can have the strings, we can have the NumPy array slicing operations, just like to this one. String slicing operations, and we can apply the linear algebra operations over the NumPy array. v1 equal to a range of 0, 5, and we will be getting a vector, and we will be applying. I'm doing the multiplication with the scalar value, and we can do all these kind of operations, and we can apply we can get the what is the mean and what is the max, what is the mean and what is max value. And this is about the creation of a data frame. Okay, data frame will be created by using list of list. Otherwise, we can create a list as a data frame by using dictionary, list of dictionaries. Okay, and otherwise we can we can create a data frame by loading the data from the text file, comma separated file or Excel file. And let's consider this example. Name is going to be key, and value is going to be a list, and age is going to be key, and this list is going to be value. Like this, we are having a dictionary, and we created a data frame by calling pandas.data frame of this dictionary data, and we are getting this data frame like this. We can have the describe method. It will be giving how many, what is the mean and what is the max and what is the minimum and what is the maximum. Okay, that kind of information will be retrieved. And columns method will be returning what are all the columns available in that data frame. Okay, head will be returning how many top 5 values. Sorry, top 5 entry, first 5 entries will be returned by the head method. If you'd like to get only 3, then we can supply the 3. If you'd like to get 100, we can supply that 100 to the head method. Okay, similar to that tail method. Tail method will be returning last 5 rows by default. This we can apply the group by functions and searching operations over the data frame. Okay, please go to the content. I will be sharing this information, all these files to you. And do you have any doubts? Please let me know. Suresh sir.
Sir, tell me, sir.
Yeah, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Sir, shall we conclude the session, sir?
Yeah, sir. You don't have any issues.
Yeah, yeah, sir. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can post it in chat box, or else you can unmute yourself and you can ask the doubts. Right. If no other queries, so thank you so much, Vishnu sir, for your valuable session. The things were very clear, and you have clearly demonstrated the things. Thank you so much for acting as a resource person for this session, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, tomorrow's session will start at 10 a.m. So tomorrow's session will be handled by Dr. C. Nagaraj Garu from Yogi Vemana University. So all of you are informed to join this session by 9:50 a.m. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Admin.
Sorry. Yes, Anthony, sir.